Welcome back, friends of Vintage Picks. Today we have a small group of 22 picks featuring 4 different companies or brand names in 10 distinct shapes. Now I'll go into the names that are on here in just a minute. But even if you came across these picks and did not know the names, by now if you've been following the videos, you'd be able to say to yourself, I don't know what Vibratone is, but I could tell you what, these are vintage shapes. And these are definitely vintage tortoise colors here. And you'd also be able to tell by the font style, just a basic block style. So right off the bat, your knowledge is increasing because you're becoming familiar with vintage shapes and vintage celluloid styles and print styles. But about the companies, Vibratone. Vibratone was the house brand for St. Louis Music Supply out of St. Louis, Missouri. They've been around for a very long time. Jenkins Music out of Kansas City, Missouri since 1911. Marathon, house brand for Southland Music, a musical instrument and accessories distribution company, just like we've seen with Pacific and with Coast in the past. And then Elton is actually a maker of capos, guitar picks, perhaps a few other accessories, and they go back quite a way too. Now let's go back over to Vibratone here. We can see that basic shape. And interesting regarding the dates here, we're looking at pieces here in some of these celluloids right here, skirting our 1950 benchmark for before and after print. There's always exceptions. These picks are late 40s right here, late 40s, 1950s, 1950s here, early 60s maybe, and we have late 50s to mid 60s with the Marathon. So we're really dealing with a approximately a little less than a 20-year period spanning the late 1940s to the early 1960s. We could see all these shapes right here. Distinctly DeAndrea, except for the 351. Many companies made that. But the 360, the 347, the 357, the 367, the 363, these are all distinct DeAndrea shapes, and they were the ones that predominantly printed on this wheat straw style of celluloid here, and these wheat straw variants right here. And move over to the Elton for just a moment. We talked about them as an accessories company. They've got something special going on behind them. Not only do we have 5 distinct celluloid styles for each one of those Eltons, and by the way, that's the 348.5 DeAndrea shape again. But take a look at the backs of these. On these 3 picks, we have a circular felt grip and then the half moon felt grip right there. Not seen with very many picks at all. Very rare to come across felt grip. Elton with their distinctive font style too on this pick. Same thing with the Marathon over here. Very nice that they decided to print this at the side instead of across, as it usually is the case. Marathon seen on a scroll here. Distinctive logo, all their own. Jenkins here, compliment to Jenkins. Well, this pick was probably given out at one of the earlier NAMM shows. That's the National Association of Music Merchants. It's the biggest convention there is in the United States with respect to all things related to music publishing and musical instruments and accessories. Another thing we might comment on here is the red and the blue print on these 2 Vibratones here. We saw that earlier, as you recall, with a few of the Gibsons that are also from the 1950s era. So really beautiful celluloids, nice shapes here, distinctive logos, the highlight of the entire board, and you could barely see it says Vibratone on it right here, but it does. This particular Vibratone has a cork grip on the back, and that is so rarely seen. And the celluloid style as well. It's got that half moon cork grip and that particular celluloid style. So you're getting familiar with these colors now that constitute what a vintage pick appears as quite frequently. And I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you have a comment, drop me a line at findpick7@yahoo.com. I'm Joe Macy with Playmore Guitar Picks. I'm a guitar pick collector, and to fund my hobby, I also sell them, buy them, and trade them. You have a good evening. We'll be in touch. More of these to come, many more. Thanks. Bye-bye.